Welcome back to RFCoins, your favorite channel for everything rare, valuable, and absolutely fascinating in the world of coins. If you're a coin collector, treasure hunter, or just someone who loves learning about the hidden gems in your pocket change, then you are in the right place. Today, we're diving deep into the mysterious and surprisingly valuable world of the 1983 D Lincoln cent. Yes, that little copper-plated zinc coin that you might have lying in a drawer or even jingling around in your pocket right now. But wait, don't spend it just yet. This simple-looking penny might be worth a lot more than 1 cent. In fact, in rare cases, it could be worth hundreds, even thousands of dollars, so grab your magnifying glasses, turn on the lights, and let's go treasure hunting together. This is a story of minting mysteries, metal shifts, collector obsessions, and the thrill of discovering that one coin that everyone else overlooked. To truly understand the 1983 D penny, we need to step back in time for just a moment. Let's rewind the clock to the early 1980s. In 1982, something big happened in the world of U.S. coinage. Due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a major change. They switched from making pennies almost entirely out of copper to making them out of zinc with a thin copper plating. This move saved money, but it also opened the door to some really interesting variations and errors. And that's where our 1983 D cent enters the spotlight. The D mint mark stands for Denver, one of the major U.S. mints. The 1983 D Lincoln cent was the first full year that all pennies were struck using the new copper-plated zinc composition. Sounds simple, right? But this is where things get really intriguing. On the surface, a 1983 D cent looks just like any ordinary penny. But what sets this coin apart is what collectors and numismatists call errors and varieties, especially one legendary error that changed the way collectors looked at the 1983 D cent forever. We're talking about the 1983 D copper planchet penny. Yes, a coin struck on the wrong metal. Remember, in 1983, all cents were supposed to be made from zinc with copper plating. But a small number of 1983 D cents were accidentally struck on solid copper planchets, left over from 1982 or possibly from foreign coin stock, that makes these coins exceedingly rare. Just imagine, a mistake at the Denver Mint, a handful of wrong metal planchets getting through, and boom, you have a rare, valuable coin right in the middle of ordinary pocket change. And here's the kicker, one such coin sold at auction for over $15,000. Yes, you heard that right, $15,000 for a single penny. Now you're probably asking, how do I know if my 1983 D penny is valuable? Great question, and here's where your detective skills come into play. Start with the weight. Zinc pennies weigh about 2.5 grams, while copper ones weigh 3.1 grams. So grab a precise digital scale. If your 1983 D penny weighs around 3.1 grams, don't get too excited just yet, but you might be holding something incredibly rare. Next, examine the surface and edge. Copper cents often have a slightly different tone, deeper, richer in color, and the edge of the coin will be more uniformly brown or reddish, not silverish or showing zinc core if worn. If you suspect you've got one of these elusive wrong planchet coins, don't clean it. Never clean coins, it reduces their value. Instead, submit it to a reputable coin grading company like PCGS or NGC. They'll authenticate and grade your coin, which is essential for serious buyers and collectors. But wait, the fun doesn't stop with the copper error. There are other varieties and errors that make the 1983 D penny exciting for collectors. Die cracks, small raised lines on the coin caused by a cracked die, double die errors, although more common on the Philadelphia version of 1983 cents. Always check the lettering and date for doubling. Clipped planchets, where a part of the coin's edge is missing due to an incomplete punch. Even these minor errors can increase a coin's value from a cent to several dollars, sometimes even hundreds depending on the severity and visibility. Now, let's talk numbers, because we all want to know what these coins are worth. A regular 1983 D penny in circulated condition? Still worth face value, 1 cent. In uncirculated, mint state condition? It could go for 10 to 50 cents, maybe more if it's graded MS65 or higher. Got a proof-like surface or full red luster? You're looking at a few dollars at least. Found a dramatic error. like an off-metal strike on a copper planchet? Now we're talking hundreds or thousands, and if it's that rare 1983 D copper penny, authenticated and in top condition, you could be looking at a value well over $10,000. The truth is, people are constantly hunting for these coins. The demand is real, the collectors are serious, and the market is hot for rare varieties from the 1980s. How can you join the hunt? It's easier than you think. Start by searching through your pocket change, old jars and drawers, bank rolls, garage sale coin jars, your grandparents' stash. Buy a good digital scale. Get a magnifying loupe or microscope. Educate yourself on what makes a coin valuable: strike, luster, planchet, grade, and of course, rarity. Most importantly, never assume a penny is just a penny. There's something magical about coins. They're tiny pieces of history, time capsules of metal and design. The 1983 D penny is more than just currency, it's a treasure waiting to be found. Whether you're new to collecting or a seasoned numismatist, remember, every coin has a story, and some of them are worth a lot more than face value. So what are you waiting for? Check your coins, weigh your pennies, and maybe, just maybe, you'll be the next person to find a $15,000 penny in a handful of change. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1983 D Lincoln cent, smash that like button, subscribe to RFCoins for more exciting coin stories, and let us know in the comments, have you found a rare 1983 penny? Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting. And may your next penny be priceless. Let me know if you want a version with added timestamps, animations, or B-roll suggestions. Welcome back to RFCoins, your ultimate treasure map for rare, valuable, and fascinating coins hiding right in your pocket change. If you're new here, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe, because today's coin is not just a penny, it's potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, you heard that right. We're diving deep into the story, secrets, and shocking market value of the 1983 Lincoln cent, a small coin that could make a huge impact on your wallet. Imagine finding a coin that looks ordinary but could be worth over $500,000. It's not a dream, it's real. So stay with me, because you might be sitting on a gold mine. Let's go back to 1983. Ronald Reagan was president, Michael Jackson's Thriller was topping the charts, and somewhere in a U.S. mint facility, a few special pennies were struck, pennies that would later become some of the most coveted coins in American numismatic history. But to truly understand the power of the 1983 penny, we need to rewind even further, to 1982. That year marked a major transition in U.S. coinage. Before 1982, Lincoln cents were made of 95% copper. But due to rising copper prices, the U.S. Mint made a switch. Starting mid-1982, pennies were made with a zinc core and just a thin copper coating. This change was supposed to be the future: lighter coins, cheaper materials. But with every big change, there's room for error. And those errors can be worth a fortune. Now, here's where it gets exciting. The 1983 Lincoln cent is a zinc-based coin. Officially, however, an incredibly rare version of this penny was struck on the old copper planchet by mistake. That means someone at the mint accidentally used the pre-1982 copper blank to make a 1983 penny. The result? One of the most valuable error coins in U.S. history. How valuable? Get this. A genuine 1983 Lincoln cent struck on a copper planchet was sold at auction for over $23,000. But that's not all. Certain rare double-die varieties from 1983 have fetched prices of $7,000, $15,000, and even beyond $25,000. And it gets even wilder. The market has recently exploded. Collectors and investors are paying record-setting prices for high-grade and rare 1983 pennies. One particularly high-grade 1983 double-die reverse Lincoln cent sold for a jaw-dropping $585,343. Yes, over $500,000 for a single penny. Let that sink in for a moment. 1. Single penny. Worth more than most luxury cars. More than some houses. All because of a mistake. A minting anomaly. A lucky error. So what makes these 1983 pennies so special? Number 1. Composition. If your 1983 penny weighs around 3.1 grams, you may have one of the rare copper planchet errors. Most 1983 pennies should weigh 2.5 grams, being made of zinc. So grab a precise scale, your treasure hunt starts there. Number 2. Double dies. The 1983 double die reverse is among the most famous varieties. This error shows strong doubling on the reverse, especially visible in the words 1 cent and e pluribus unum. These dramatic doubling effects are not just cool to look at, they're worth serious money. And the stronger the doubling and the better the condition, the higher the price collectors are willing to pay. Number 3. Condition. Coins in mint state or graded by top-tier companies like PCGS or NGC fetch much higher prices. A 1983 penny with no wear, full details, and vibrant color could be a jackpot if it includes a rare error. So how do you check your 1983 pennies? Step 1. Gather all of them. Look through your piggy banks, old coin jars, that drawer where you toss your change. Step 2. Weigh them. Any coin around 3.1 grams deserves further inspection. Step 3. Use a magnifying glass to check for doubling on the reverse. Look closely at the letters. If you see clear signs of double lines, you may be holding a double die. Step 4. If you suspect you have something valuable, don't clean the coin. Cleaning can ruin the value. Send it to a reputable grading service. Now let's talk market value. Common 1983 pennies are worth 1 cent, unless they're in pristine condition, in which case they might fetch $1 or $2. But rare varieties like the double die reverse can go for $150 to over $1,000, depending on grade. The copper planchet error can go from $10,000 to $30,000, depending on condition and verification. And the holy grail, the perfect storm, a mint state 1983 copper penny with a double die. That's where you get into the six-figure range. The current market is hot, collectors are paying attention. Prices are climbing. New discoveries are still being made. You could literally find one today. That's why you should never ignore your change. Let's imagine this. You're buying coffee. You get 4 pennies in change. One of them looks ordinary. But you take a second look. It weighs a little more. You check the back. The letters look strange. You go online, research it, get it graded, and boom, it comes back as a double die on a copper planchet. You list it. A bidding war breaks out. And suddenly, you're holding a check for more than $500,000. That's the dream. And that's why we love coin collecting. It's not just about money, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the beauty of history in your hand, and the stories behind every little coin. So what should you do now? Check your 1983 pennies. Look for the weight. Look for doubling. Look for errors. Don't let these treasures slip through your fingers, and if you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, drop a comment telling me what rare coins you found, and subscribe for more amazing coin stories, hidden treasures, and market updates. Thanks for watching RFCoins. Until next time, keep searching, keep stacking, and remember, the next coin that changes your life might be hiding in your pocket right now. Would you like me to help you turn this into a voiceover script, add visuals, or make a thumbnail idea to go with it? Welcome back to RFCoins, the channel where coins aren't just currency, they're hidden treasures waiting to be discovered. Today, we're diving deep into a coin that might just be lying unnoticed in your piggy bank, pocket change, or that old jar in grandma's kitchen. You might think it's ordinary, but what if I told you that this little coin, a 1997 Lincoln cent, could actually be worth a fortune? Yes, you heard that right. A coin that cost just 1 cent to make, now potentially worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. And the best part? It's not as rare as you think. So stay with me till the end, because this video is going to blow your mind with stories, values, errors, and the secrets you need to know about the 1997 penny. Let's start with the basics. The 1997 Lincoln cent was minted in Denver, as indicated by the D mint mark just below the year. Like all Lincoln cents of this era, it features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse side, designed by Victor David Brenner, a design that dates all the way back to 1909. The reverse side? That iconic Lincoln Memorial, detailed with such precision that if you look closely under magnification, you can even see a tiny representation of the statue of Lincoln sitting inside. Now, in 1997, the Denver Mint produced almost 4.6 billion of these coins. That's a huge number. So naturally, people assume it's common, it's boring, and it has no collector value, but let me stop you right there, because within those billions of coins are a select few that stand out. Coins with errors. Coins with unique conditions. Coins that collectors will pay big money for. Let's talk money. If you have a regular circulated 1997 D penny, it's probably worth 1 cent. Maybe 2, if it's in slightly better condition. But that's not the kind of coin we're looking for. If you have a mint state example, we're talking uncirculated, shiny, no scratches, strong strike. Now we're looking at values between $5 to $20 depending on grade, still nothing to write home about. Well, here's where it gets interesting. If your 1997 D penny is in a mint state 67 red or higher, now the value jumps significantly. Auction records show some of these high-grade examples selling for over $100 to $250, and if you're thinking that's the ceiling, think again. The real money, my friends, lies in the error coins. And the 1997 D penny has some amazing examples. Let's talk about some of the known errors. This error occurs when the coin is struck by a die that had a misalignment during the hubbing process, leading to doubling on the inscriptions. On some 1997 D pennies, you can see doubling on Liberty, In God We Trust, or even the date, 1997. Collectors love these. If you find a clear DDO, depending on its visibility and condition, you're looking at $50 to $300 or more. This error happens when the coin isn't properly centered during striking. Some 1997 D cents have been found struck 5%, 10%, even up to 80% off-center. The more dramatic the error, the higher the value. A clean 50% off-center strike with a visible date and mint mark can fetch $100 to $500 or more. A cud is a blob of metal that appears when a piece of the die breaks off, leaving a raised lump on the coin. These are sought after by error collectors, and if it's dramatic, you could see values from $20 to $200. Ever seen a coin with a weird pattern, like a piece of cloth or thread embedded in the surface? That's a struck-through error. It's unusual, and collectors go wild for it. Prices can vary, but unique examples have sold for over $150. Now, this is the rare jackpot. Imagine a 1997 D cent struck on a dime planchet. It's lighter, smaller, and the design doesn't fit. These can sell for $500 to over $1,000, especially if it's in great condition and authenticated by grading services like PCGS or NGC. So you're probably asking, how do I know if my 1997 D penny is worth anything? Always check if the coin is in mint state. The shinier and cleaner, the better. Red luster is best. Coins are categorized as red, red-brown, or brown. Full red coins command top dollar. Use a magnifying glass or a coin microscope. Check for doubling, misalignments, off-center strikes, cracks, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. A normal 1997 D cent should weigh around 2.5 grams. If it's off, you might have a wrong planchet or composition error. If you think you've got something special, send it to PCGS or NGC for professional grading and authentication. That little label can add a huge boost in value. Let's look at some real examples that recently sold. A 1997 D Lincoln cent graded MS68 red by PCGS sold for $763 at auction. A 1997 D penny with a dramatic center strike went for over $525 on eBay. A double die example sold for nearly $400, all because the doubling was strong and visible. A wrong planchet error, struck on a 10-cent planchet, fetched a jaw-dropping $1,200. These are real numbers. Real sales. Real money. All from a penny you might have in your change right now. So what should you do? First, check your change. Look through penny rolls. Visit your local bank and ask for penny boxes. Yes, it might take some time, but that's the fun of coin roll hunting, the thrill of the unknown. Pick up a cheap coin magnifier. A $10 tool could help you spot a $500 coin, and always keep your eyes open. That worn, old-looking penny might just be a rare error waiting to be discovered. The 1997 D Lincoln cent is a perfect example of why coin collecting is so exciting. It's not just about history, it's about the thrill of the hunt, the stories behind the metal, and the possibility that something incredibly valuable is hiding in plain sight. So the next time you get a penny and change, don't toss it aside. Look closely. It could be a tiny treasure worth a small fortune, and if you've got a 1997 D penny sitting in a drawer right now, maybe it's time to take a second look. Have you ever found a valuable penny? Do you have a 1997 D with an error? Tell us in the comments below. I want to hear your coin stories, and don't forget, like this video, subscribe to RFCoins, and hit that bell icon so you never miss a single upload. We've got more amazing videos coming your way, with rare coins, market trends, and secret finds that could change your collection forever. Until next time, keep searching, keep learning, and keep collecting. Because with coins, every cent counts. If you want, I can help you break this script into parts for posting on YouTube with visuals and narration suggestions too. Today? That's right, the 1999 D Lincoln cent, a coin millions of people handled without a second thought, could be hiding a big secret. It might just be one of the most underestimated modern pennies ever made. So before you toss your pocket change aside, you might want to take a closer look. Because today, we're going deep into the fascinating world of the 1999 D Lincoln cent, its story, its mysteries, its potential value, and how you can identify a rare gem hiding in plain sight. Welcome back to RFCoins, the channel where we uncover the hidden treasures in your change jar. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you never miss a video about coin values, collecting tips, and hidden rarities. Now let's crack open the case of the 1999 D penny, and why collectors everywhere are hunting for it. Let's start with the basics. The 1999 D Lincoln cent is part of the iconic Lincoln Memorial Cent series, which ran from 1959 all the way to 2008. That's 50 years of history packed into a small copper-plated zinc coin. The obverse features Abraham Lincoln's profile, designed by Victor David Brenner, a portrait that first appeared in 1909. On the reverse, until 2008, you'll see the Lincoln Memorial, designed by Frank Gasparo, with tiny details so fine that, under magnification, you can actually spot the statue of Lincoln inside the memorial. The D mint mark under the year 1999 stands for the Denver Mint, one of the United States Mint's main production facilities. That year, Denver produced a massive number of these pennies, over 6.3 billion to be exact. Yes, billion with a B. That sheer quantity makes it sound like there's nothing special about this coin, but that's where the story takes an interesting turn, because even in a sea of billions, some rare variations, errors, and high-grade specimens stand out, and those are the ones collectors are chasing. So, what's the deal with the 1999 D Lincoln cent? First of all, let's talk about condition. While most of these coins were circulated and show heavy wear, finding one in pristine condition, especially graded MS67 or higher, is no easy task. In fact, these high-grade coins can fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction, but condition isn't the only thing that makes this penny interesting. There are also known die varieties and mint errors that make certain 1999 D cents extremely valuable. These include double die obverse. Though rare for this date, any doubling in the date or the word liberty could command big money. Center strikes. If your 1999 D penny is struck center, even by 5% to 20%, it could be worth $10 to $100, depending on how much detail is visible. Broad strikes and clipped planchets. These are mechanical minting errors that happen during production. They're uncommon and can raise the value substantially. Struck on the wrong planchet. Imagine a penny struck on a dime or nickel blank. Now that's a serious error and could be worth hundreds. And then, we have high-grade business strike coins. For example, a 1999 D Lincoln cent graded MS68 read by PCGS has sold for over $1,800 in auction. Think about that, a coin worth 1 cent, now worth almost $2,000 just because of its condition and rarity. Okay, so now you're probably wondering, how do I know if my 1999 D penny is worth anything? Check the date and mint mark. Make sure it says 1999 with a D under it. Inspect for mint errors, look for signs of doubling, center strikes, or unusual markings that if it's shiny, red, and free of major scratches or dents, it might be mint state. Check the cheek of Lincoln and the steps of the memorial. These are key areas that graders look at. Use a magnifier. A 10x loupe can help you spot details the naked eye might miss. Compare with known error coins online. Sites like PCGS and NGC have photo galleries you can use for reference. That if you think you have a special coin, it's worth submitting to a grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade can multiply the coin's value instantly. Let's talk numbers. Here are a few real-life sales that show just how valuable a 1999 D Lincoln cent can be. A PCGS MS68 RD sold for $1,955 in 2022 at Heritage Auctions. An NGC MS67 RD fetched $400 in a private collector sale. A raw, ungraded coin with visible off-center strikes sold on eBay for $70. And that was with moderate wear. So yes, condition is king. But so are rarity and eye appeal. Collectors are always on the lookout for coins that stand out, and if you find one with luster, clean surfaces, and minimal marks, you might just be sitting on a little copper goldmine. Want to get into the game and start hunting valuable coins like the 1999 D penny? Search through rolls of pennies from your bank. Yes, actual roll hunting still works. Check old coin jars and piggy banks. You'd be surprised what people have tucked away. Visit local coin shops and estate sales. Sometimes these places have hidden treasures in the form of overlooked modern coins. Educate yourself on what to look for. Knowledge is the collector's best friend. Use coin forums and communities, like CoinTalk or Reddit's r/coins. There's a world of experts and collectors ready to help you learn and grow. And remember, even if you don't find a rare one right away, every coin has a story. Every Lincoln cent is a piece of history, and that's what makes collecting so rewarding. So, the next time you see a 1999 D penny, don't brush it off. Take a closer look. Because in this hobby, one person's pocket change could be another person's treasure. The 1999 D Lincoln cent may seem ordinary, but it holds extraordinary possibilities. Whether it's a high-grade gem, a rare mint error, or just a clean strike with great eye appeal, this coin is a prime example of why coin collecting is so fascinating. It reminds us that the smallest things can sometimes carry the biggest surprises. Thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, be sure to hit that like button, share it with your fellow coin hunters, and subscribe to RFCoins for more deep dives into valuable coins, rare errors, and collecting tips you won't want to miss. Have you found a rare 1999 D penny? Or do you have a question about a coin in your collection? Drop a comment below. We love hearing from fellow collectors, and until next time, keep hunting, keep learning, and never underestimate the power of the penny. Would you like a version of this with visual suggestions or timestamps for editing in your YouTube video? Welcome back to RFCoins, the ultimate spot for coin collectors, history buffs, and anyone curious about the fascinating world of US coinage. If you're new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell notification, because today's episode is going to blow your mind. Now buckle up, folks, because today we're diving deep into the story, secrets, value, and varieties of the 2005 D Lincoln cent. Yes, the humble 2005 D penny, straight out of Denver, might just be hiding in your pocket change and could be worth way more than face value. What's so special about a 2005 D Lincoln cent? It's just a regular penny. But trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be double-checking your coin jars, old piggy banks, and change drawers. Because some of these little copper-plated zinc beauties are turning heads in the coin collecting community, and for good reason. So let's start at the very beginning, because to understand the true potential of the 2005 D cent, you've got to know where it came from. 2005 was a relatively quiet year in terms of design changes for the Lincoln cent. The reverse still showed the Lincoln Memorial, a design introduced in 1959 to replace the original wheat ears. And the obverse? That classic side profile of Abraham Lincoln, which had been there since 1909 when the Lincoln cent was first minted. The Denver Mint produced over 3.9 billion 2005 D cents. Yes, you heard that right, billions. But don't let the mintage numbers fool you. While most of these coins are extremely common, a small handful feature minting errors, die varieties, and condition-based rarities that make them incredibly desirable to collectors. That's right, some 2005 D cents have sold for hundreds, even thousands, of dollars. So what makes these coins special? Let's get into the nitty-gritty. Error coins are like treasure maps in your pocket change. They're accidents, but beautiful ones that collectors love. Here are some of the most valuable and exciting 2005 D cent errors to watch out for. Keep a close eye on Lincoln's eye, ear, and the date. Some 2005 D cents show clear doubling, especially on the Liberty and In God We Trust inscriptions. Use a magnifying glass or loupe. These can be subtle, but they're real. These are caused when the die starts to wear or break. You might see a raised line across the coin or a blob-like area where part of the die chipped away. Some 2005 D cents have dramatic cuts that make them unique and highly collectible. Look for coins where the design is shifted. This means it was struck center. The more dramatic the shift, the more valuable the coin. A 2005 D Lincoln cent that's 50% center with a visible date? That's a real prize. This is a classic Lincoln cent die break, usually between the letters B and E in Liberty, creating what looks like an extra letter, I. It's small, but very cool, and collectors love them. Imagine a piece of string, cloth, or metal shaving falling on the die right before the coin is struck. It leaves a weird impression that's part of the coin's surface. These are very eye-catching and valuable. Let's talk about condition, because sometimes perfection pays, even if your 2005 D cent doesn't have an error. If it's in mint state or graded MS67, MS68, or higher, it could still be worth serious money. Coin grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified several of these coins in ultra-high grades, and some have fetched over $500 at auction. Why? Because while billions were made, very few survived in pristine, uncirculated condition. Most got scratched, dinged, and scuffed in circulation. So finding one in top condition? It's like finding a four-leaf clover in a field of weeds. Grab your coin. First, check the mint mark, that little D under the date. If it's there, you've got a Denver coin. Look at the coin's rim. Is it perfectly round, or center? Are there any unusual blobs, lines, or missing parts in the design? Check for extreme shine, no scratches, and crisp details, especially on Lincoln's hair, jawline, and the steps of the Lincoln Memorial. Now for the exciting part, real prices. Here are some actual sales of 2005 D cents that blew away expectations. A 2005 D MS68 red Lincoln cent sold for $850 at Heritage Auctions. A major off-center strike 2005 D penny went for $400 on eBay. A DDO variety in MS65 grade crossed the auction block at $275. Even circulated coins with dramatic errors have sold for $20 to $100 depending on the rarity and demand. Here's what to keep in mind if you're searching for valuable 2005 D Lincoln cents. Always check your change, especially from banks, vending machines, and gas stations. Get a good 10x magnifier. It will help you spot minor errors and doubling. Consider submitting potential high-grade coins to PCGS or NGC for certification. Store your coins properly. Use flips, capsules, or albums to protect them from scratches and moisture. Stay updated with coin forums, auction sites, and YouTube channels for the latest discoveries and price updates. Some might call it just a penny. But the 2005 D cent is a reminder that even the smallest, most overlooked objects can carry history, mystery, and value. Every coin tells a story. It might have passed through thousands of hands, survived decades of circulation, or been part of an incredible minting mistake that turned it into a rare gem, and that's what makes collecting coins so exciting. You're not just gathering metal, you're chasing stories, preserving history, and sometimes, striking it rich. Wrap up. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the 2005 D Lincoln cent. From errors to minting anomalies, high-grade rarities to hidden treasures in your change, this little coin is definitely one to keep an eye on. If you've got a 2005 D cent with a cool error or high grade, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear about it and maybe even feature it in a future video. Smash that like button if you learned something new today. And don't forget to subscribe to RFCoins for more awesome coin videos, tips, and collecting secrets. Thanks for watching, and as always, happy hunting. Let me know if you'd like a version with images, animations, or visuals outlined to help with editing or video planning. Welcome back to RFCoins, the place where every coin tells a story, and today's story is a must-watch. We're diving deep into the 2008 D. Lincoln cent. That's right, the humble penny minted in Denver that year. But don't let its small size or its face value fool you, because behind that coppery surface hides a fascinating world of rarity, value, minting mystery, collector demand, and even error coins that have turned ordinary pocket change into extraordinary treasures. So grab your favorite drink, sit back, and stay with me as we uncover everything you never knew you needed to know about the 2008 D. Lincoln cent. Trust me, by the end of this video, you'll be checking your change jars for this little beauty. Let's go. First, let's break it down. What exactly is the 2008 D. Lincoln cent? The 2008 refers to the year it was minted, right before a major turning point in the Lincoln penny series. The D mint mark? That means it was struck at the Denver Mint, one of the major mints in the United States that's known for producing coins for circulation. The obverse of this coin, like every Lincoln cent since 1909, features the iconic portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. His image has stood the test of time for over a century, a tribute to his legacy and the nation's respect. On the reverse, we still see the Lincoln Memorial, the design by Frank Gasparo that began in 1959 to commemorate Lincoln's 150th birthday. Little did we know then that 2008 would be the final year of the Lincoln Memorial reverse, a design that would soon be retired forever, making the 2008 issues historically significant. Now here's where it starts getting juicy. The 2008 D penny wasn't just any coin. It was minted during a pivotal moment in U.S. coinage history. You see, 2009 marked the bicentennial of Lincoln's birth, and with it came a series of 4 new reverse designs to celebrate his life. The Lincoln Bicentennial Cents. That means the 2008 Lincoln Memorial Cent was the last of its kind, the end of an era. Think about that for a second. That makes this coin a sort of final chapter to a story that began in 1959. Collectors love that kind of thing. It's not just a coin, it's a milestone. Let's talk mintage. The Denver Mint produced a whopping 2,849,600,000 of these cents in 2008. That's nearly 2.85 billion coins. That sounds like a lot, and it is, but that doesn't mean yours is worthless. Why? Because not all coins are created equal. Even among billions, only a few survive in mint state, and fewer still come with striking errors, unique features, or high grading that set them apart. Those are the coins that command collector attention, and yes, sometimes big bucks. Here's where things start getting really exciting. Collectors are constantly on the hunt for error coins, and the 2008 D. Lincoln cent has some famous ones. These aren't just factory flaws, they're fascinating flukes that turn ordinary coins into collector's gold. Double die errors. Some 2008 D cents have been found with doubling, especially in the words Liberty or the date 2008. When viewed under magnification, the letters appear shadowed or overlapped. These coins can sell for anywhere from $20 to over $100, depending on condition. Center strikes. This error occurs when the coin is not properly centered during striking. The more off-center it is, the more it's worth. A 2008 D cent with a 10 to 20% off-center strike might fetch $50 to $150. Errors. A BE error is a tiny die break between the B and E in Liberty, making it look like the word has an I in the middle, hence BIE. These fun little quirks can sell for $5 to $20 and are highly collectible. Die cracks and cuds. These occur when the die used to strike the coin becomes damaged. Die cracks can form raised lines, and cuds can create blobs of metal. These imperfections are like the coin scars, unique and valuable. Always check both sides of your 2008 D penny carefully. Flip it under a light, look at the date, examine the letters. That tiny detail could mean you're holding something worth more than you think. Now let's talk grades. If you find a 2008 D penny in circulated condition, it may only be worth face value. But if you find one in mint state, especially in grades like MS65, MS66, or higher, the value goes up fast. MS67 red? You're talking $100 to $250 easily. Top pop coins in MS68 red, with stunning luster and eye appeal, have sold for upwards of $500 or more at auction. So don't just glance at your coin, examine it. If it looks shiny, flawless, and fresh, you might want to get it graded by PCGS or NGC, the leading coin grading services. Here's something many people overlook: demand. The 2008 D penny may not be the rarest coin, but it's a must-have for people building date and mint sets, Lincoln Memorial collections, or those tracking the full evolution of the Lincoln Cent series. It's especially desirable in high grade, or with error features. Online marketplaces like eBay, coin shows, and Facebook collector groups are constantly buzzing with these coins being bought, sold, and traded. And the kicker? People love collecting coins from transition years, and 2008 is one of those. It's the last year of a beloved design, and the final chapter of the Memorial Cent before history turned the page. Let's throw in some fun facts, shall we? Did you know that if you lined up all 2.8 billion 2008 D pennies side by side, they'd stretch around the earth nearly 11 times? Or that the cost of making a penny in 2008 was actually more than 1 cent, closer to 1.8 cents per coin? And here's a cool tip: coins stored in albums, tubes, or original mint rolls tend to retain much better condition than pocket change. So always check those old collections. Want to hunt for valuable 2008 D cents? Get a magnifier, some good lighting, and look for full red color, clean surfaces, and any oddities. Error hunting is a thrill that never gets old. So, what did we learn today? The 2008 D Lincoln Cent might look like just another penny, but it's really a gateway into American coin history. It marks the end of one design, teases the start of another, and offers collectors a chance to own a piece of numismatic transition. Whether you're a beginner checking your spare change or a seasoned collector filling out your registry set, the 2008 D penny deserves a spot in your collection, maybe even in a slab with a high grade, and who knows, maybe your 2008 D cent is one of the rare error coins that could fetch a nice return. So what are you waiting for? Go check your change, dig through that old coin jar, and keep your eyes peeled. You just might be holding a little copper treasure. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 2008 D Lincoln Cent, smash that like button to show your support, and don't forget to subscribe to RFCoins for more rich coin content, value guides, and collecting tips every week. Have you found a 2008 D penny in your collection? Got a cool error coin or want me to feature your find? Drop it in the comments. I'd love to hear your coin stories. Thanks for watching, keep collecting, and remember, every coin has a story. What's in your pocket? Let me know if you want a version tailored for a video with visuals, animations, or specific callouts. Welcome back to RFCoins, the ultimate spot for all things coins, cash, and collecting. Today's video is going to blow your mind, because we're diving deep into the world of a coin that you've probably seen 100 times, maybe even in your change today, but one that could be hiding a fortune. Yes, I'm talking about the 2012 Lincoln Cent, also known as the 2012 penny. Sounds ordinary, right? But trust me, this coin is anything but ordinary. Some of these seemingly regular pennies are worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars, and in this video, I'll tell you exactly what to look for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a total beginner, stick around till the end, because we're going to talk about rare errors, valuable varieties, grading secrets, and jaw-dropping auction results you won't believe. Let's dig into the details and unlock the secrets of the 2012 penny. Let's start with the basics. The 2012 Lincoln Cent features the familiar image of President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. That's the front of the coin, a design created by Victor David Brenner over a century ago in 1909. The reverse of the coin, that's the back, features the Union Shield, which was introduced in 2010. This shield design represents Lincoln's preservation of the United States as a single, united country during the Civil War. The shield has 13 vertical stripes, representing the original 13 states, joined together under a single horizontal bar. So, in 2012, this design was already in its third year of circulation. Now here's the important part. In 2012, billions of pennies were minted. But don't let that number fool you. Just because there were billions made doesn't mean they're all worthless. In fact, certain errors and varieties from this year are extremely rare, and some are worth a small fortune. Let's break down the mintage numbers and where the coins were made. In 2012, the Lincoln cents were minted at two main U.S. mint facilities, the Philadelphia Mint, which produced over 2.9 billion pennies, the Denver Mint, which produced more than 3 billion. There was also a 2012 S-proof Lincoln cent, struck at the San Francisco Mint for collectors only, and that one is very special, so stay tuned for more on that later. Now here's the thing, the high mintages from Philadelphia and Denver mean that most 2012 pennies will only be worth face value. But, if you find one with an error, or a high-grade version, especially in MS67 or MS68 condition, you could be holding something extremely valuable. Alright, now let's get into the fun stuff, the valuable error coins you need to be searching for in your change point. One of the most popular types of errors in coin collecting is a double die, where the design appears to have been stamped twice. For the 2012 Lincoln cent, you want to examine Lincoln's face, the date, the word liberty, and especially the phrase, "In God We Trust." If you notice doubling on the letters or numbers, that could be a double die, and collectors pay big bucks for those. Some confirmed 2012 DDOs have sold for $50 to $150, and if it's in top condition, even more. These errors occur when the coin isn't properly centered in the press. A small off-center strike might only be worth a few dollars, but a 50% off-center coin, where half the design is missing, can be worth $100 or more depending on how dramatic the error is. These are signs of a damaged die used to strike the coins. You'll see raised lines or blobs of extra metal, usually near the rim or between letters. These coins are growing in popularity and can sell for $20 to $100 depending on severity. Some 2012 pennies have minting issues where parts of the lettering, like the D in Liberty or the 2 in 2012, are faded, weak, or missing. While not always valuable, these can be collectible if combined with other errors. A coin accidentally struck on a blank intended for another denomination, like a dime planchet. These are extremely rare and can fetch hundreds to thousands of dollars, especially if authenticated by a professional grading service. Now, let's talk about the 2012 S-proof penny, one of the hidden gems from this year. These proof coins were only sold to collectors in special sets, not released for circulation. They have a sharp, mirror-like finish and incredible detail that if you find a 2012 penny with a shiny, polished surface and an S mint mark under the date, congratulations. You found a proof coin. In top condition, especially graded PR69 or PR70 deep cameo. These coins can be worth $10 to $50, and even more if part of a complete set. Some graded PR70 coins have sold for over $100 individually depending on market demand. Alright, here's where things get really exciting. Most coins in circulation have scratches, wear, and damage, but if you find a mint state 2012 penny, a coin with no wear and sharp details, it could be worth grading. Coins graded MS67 or higher by PCGS or NGC are very scarce. Even one small flaw can bring the grade down. But if you're lucky enough to find one, the value skyrockets. A 2012 D Lincoln cent graded MS68 RD by PCGS sold for $1,528 at auction. A 2012 Lincoln cent from Philadelphia in MS67 RD has sold for over $500. A 2012 S-proof penny graded PR70 deep cameo sold for nearly $200. Yes, you heard that right, a simple penny, if perfectly preserved, can sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars. So how do you find one? Look through coin rolls, bank boxes, and even your own change. Use a magnifying glass and good lighting. And most importantly, handle coins carefully. Even the slightest scratch can drop the value. Don't clean it. Cleaning can destroy a coin's value. Take clear photos. Show both sides, and highlight any errors. Get it graded. Submit it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. Consider selling or holding. If the market is hot, you might get a great price. Or keep it as part of your investment collection, and remember, Even if your 2012 penny isn't worth a fortune today, some coins gain value over time, especially if they're high grade. So there you have it, everything you need to know about the 2012 Lincoln cent. Who knew a simple penny could be worth so much, right? If you learned something new, hit that like button. It helps the channel and lets me know you want more videos like this. And if you've ever found a cool 2012 penny or have a question about one in your collection, drop a comment below. I'd love to hear your story. Make sure to subscribe to RFCoins and ring that notification bell so you never miss another treasure hunting adventure. Until next time, happy collecting, and remember, the next coin in your pocket just might be a jackpot in disguise. Let me know if you'd like a version with visuals marked, or if you want to make this part of a series. Do.